Have an unattractive attitude. It could be that you don't put yourself together when you go out. Stop going out the house looking any kind of way. What's happening, kings and queens? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you're here for the first time, I would absolutely love it if you would hit that subscribe button for me. It would mean the world to me. Give me a thumbs up, share this out. Let's roll. These are reasons of why you are still single. Number one, you don't get out much. Introverts, this is just not your thing. You're an introvert, you stay in the house and you find it awkward to get in front of a bunch of people. And finding a relationship is a lot like finding a job in that aspect, right? You gotta be on it. I heard a guy on a podcast trying to help a lady find a partner. So the question was, the lady made a statement. She said, I can't find a man. The guy said, where are you going? Are you going to places where men are? Makes sense, right? So if you want to find that person, go to where those people are. And at the gym, the golf course, wherever, right? Whatever fits your fancy, but you can't do that in the house. If you want somebody, you gotta go out and meet somebody. People aren't coming to you. Oh, it kills me to hear people say, well, I'm just waiting on God to send me my husband. Really? I'm waiting on God to send me my husband. Right? That's because you're an introvert. Right? The next thing is you are not over your ex. Right? You may swear that you are over this person, but you keep bringing up things or memories, and you just got to be honest with yourself and know that you got to give that some time. You can't just move from one person to the next person to the next person. There's a process to this, all right? And believe it or not, it's obvious when you're not over your ex, especially to the people that you're involved with, because it comes out in your conversations, it comes out in your mannerisms, and it's subconsciously revealed through your speech and your actions. So you got to make sure that you take that time to heal. And there's nothing wrong in the meantime with taking time for yourself and discovering yourself. That's a healthy place to be. Self-awareness is very, very important. All right, next thing, you're nitpicky, right? This may be the main culprit. If you're consistently being told like you're too picky, you're probably too picky. You got unreachable standards and such high goals, such high requirements for people that not even you believe that you can get there. Now here's the way it works, in my opinion. You start out having fun in your 20s. You're clubbing, you're doing your thing. You're probably going from person to person having fun. You may get serious in your late 20s. Most people at that age, in the 20s, they have metabolism on their side. So you're looking for the tall, handsome, six-pack, whatever. You don't really care about careers at this point because you're just finding yourself. Then you get to your 30s and you're like, yeah, I got this thing called a career. I gotta buckle my behind down. Then you get the career part buckled down, and then you're like, you know what? I think I wanna have some kids. Let's bump it down to 6'3". They definitely gotta have a career, and we also need them to be working out at least sometimes. And they still need to have a decent, probably a 4-pack, if not a 6-pack. Then you get to like the late 30s and you're like, oh my gosh, my clock is ticking. I just need somebody that's gonna be here and stable. He looks good, she looks good, or whatever the case is. They look good because they got a job, they got a career, they're stable. That's what you need, right? So then you go into your 40s and now you're like, okay, look, they got a little gut, but I can work with the gut. And the teeth ain't all that straight, but I got a dental plan. But they got a good career, they got a job. I just need somebody to help me hold it down. Because you probably got 1 or 2 stray kids at that point, right? You're just like, yeah, I just need somebody to help me with these kids, please. And then you get to late 40s, you're like, man, somebody in this bed sure would be nice. And you just want a warm body next to you, right? Then you just want somebody, when you get to the late 40s and 50s, you be like, I just want them to be saved and love the Lord, right? Bare mouth, big gut, don't matter. Right? So your standards are gonna change over time. Like you start out like this and then you hit that plateau and then your standards come right back down, right? So what are we really doing here? Here's the point. There's a fine line between being selective and being nitpicky. There's no such thing as a perfect person, right? Everyone is going to have quirks, and that may seem strange to you, but don't worry about the little things. They're absolutely meaningless because they have no effect on someone's ability to be a good partner. Well, here's another good one too. Your self-esteem is way too high. And I'm pretty sure no one is gonna admit to this. And here's how I know that that's a fact. You can go out and just survey any random person. or a number of people, and ask them, on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate yourself? Most of them are gonna go between 8 and 10, right? And most of them are, and the numbers are relative, right? They're relative because you know, everybody sees things differently. Everyone sees themselves in a different light. So for some people, you may say, oh, I'm a 10, but then to the next person, they'd be like, nah, that's a 4, right? What makes a 10? That's up to the person. But it's not up to you to say what you are. It's not up to you to say who you are. You should feel good about yourself. You should have the confidence. But you don't get to tell yourself whether you're a 10 or not. That's somebody else's job. You're single because you have an inflated sense of self. You're way too judgmental, and you write people off so quickly that your demographic and your potential partners make it statistically unlikely for you to find a relationship. Another thing could be that your self-esteem is too low. That's right, your self-esteem could be too low. You regard yourself so poorly that you assume that there must be something wrong with anyone that takes a romantic interest in you. Right? A common trait between people with low self-esteem is that they overthink immensely. For example, if someone asks them out on a date and they're wondering a million times, why would they want to go on a date with me? I mean, you may think like it's a prank or something like that, but nevertheless, always remind yourself that everyone deserves to be loved. And that includes you. Another thing is you're too mysterious. Like, you don't embrace vulnerability. This isn't middle school anymore. Nobody is attracted to the person that shares nothing about themselves. If you want to connect with people on a deeper level, you're gonna have to be more vulnerable. You're gonna have to reveal things. You're gonna have to open up. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but the aspects of your identity and life make you who you are. And last thing I would say on this is that you're just too independent. Right? And that whole independent thing, and it's good to be independent, but a lot of you are just too damn proud to be independent. And it hinders you from having someone to come into your life and help you and assist you and to grow and to have a cohesiveness in the relationship, because you're so used to doing things by yourself for so long. When someone shows up, you don't know how they accept the help. That's just me. This is my concept. This is my thought on why you are still single. There are a lot more. It could be that you're not attractive. Right? It could be that you have an unattractive attitude. It could be that you don't put yourself together when you go out. Stop going out the house looking any kind of way. Every time you leave the house or you get out the car, you are a marketer. You are consistently marketing yourself. You better start caring how you walk out of that house. You better start caring how you look when you step out the door. Think about it before you go. Think before you do. You're putting stuff on, you're walking out the door, somebody's gonna see you. And you are representing yourself first. And then you got to represent what you want. You coming out the house looking like a slob and you want somebody that's all dressed up and pristine? I don't think so. All right, I'm done. But that's why you're single.